Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, October 6, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern. One of the biggest things that we contend with, all of us, because none of us are exempt. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't met anybody yet that is exempt from this. Worry. When you can stop worrying about the future, this is great from Hafiz. When you can stop worrying about the future, you'll become such a drunk, laughing nuisance that God will then lean down and start combing you into his hair. Worrying is one of the most destructive habits that we have. It's a mind entertainment. It is, for all intents and purposes, it's a disease of the psyche. And it forms when we feel disconnected from our soul and our spiritual roots. Because if we didn't feel disconnected, the funny thing about that is we're not, but it's kind of an illusion. So we feel disconnected. So when we feel disconnected from our soul and our spiritual roots, something happens in life, and a perpetual stream of negative fear-based thoughts flood into our head, and it begins repeating themselves over and over. And of course, it's a perpetual flow, and fearful feelings bubble up inside of us, and it fills the narrowing mind, and the mind's very narrow, with doubt and resistance to trusting to life. So the thing we're worried about may or may not come into being. Yet the mind clenches too tight and is able to let go, and is able to let go and relax. And worry creates into reality when we rely only on the logical, rational mind to serve as our guide, and forget what it's like to live from our heart. This is always, there's really no other avenue for this to take place. So then we become lost in a trail of perpetual tension, left behind in the mind's anxious what-if thinking. I was talking with a dental hygienist, and she started telling me that, I don't know what it is, but I always am thinking the worst case scenario. She says, I always just think that, well, what if this happens, and what if that happens, and, this could happen, and that can happen. And I basically said that, well, we all gravitate towards negativity. We do. The worrier inside us has lost its spiritual roots, okay? It's forgotten how deeply to enjoy this life and be free from attachments in this world, and trust that everything is always unfolding perfectly in this divine, all-intelligent universe, which never ever makes mistakes anyway, which really isn't any mistakes. Worrying is basically an effect of not trusting our spiritual connection to the universe. So we don't trust the universe, basically. We just don't trust it. And you'll know if you don't trust it. People say, well, how do you know if you don't trust the universe? It's how you feel in the heart. That's it right there. It's how you feel in the heart. If you feel through the heart-mind flowing and, just absolutely no issues with the universe, then it's period. That's it. And it's a disconnection, and it creates the assuming, which is dangerous anyway, that we are powerless beings, that we're really not. And this comes in, and a lot of people believe this, that we're not the real manifestors or creators of reality of our future. And we all know this. We've all heard this over and over and over again. Just about everything you worry about never comes to be. Not in the shape or the form of the desperation of the worry that you're transmitting. So the ego mind wants full control of reality. Okay, so it's good that we know that, right? Thinking that having a stronger, more strategic hold on life is the most optimum place to be. A stronger, more strategic hold on life. That's the ego mind. That's what it place to be in its belief. So when we resist trusting in life, we stop letting in love. It's pretty simple and rudimentary. You realize it. You say, okay, so I stop letting in love and honoring the divine mystery that surrounds us, and the ego mind then becomes very tight and tense, demanding, controlling, and worried about everything. You ever been in that position? It's like you can't shake it. It just keeps coming in waves, you know? And then when one worry's gone, you end up, somehow another one surfaces. And so it's a perpetual motion. The worry is instigated from the ego mind, okay? And so you embrace that. It's a thought. It's a thought. So you embrace it, you create reality, and then you have the worry. See, it's always the way. We're the masters. It's just that we don't know it. We're not convinced we're the masters. We tend to worry because we worry that become the ego abhors being weak and vulnerable and unprotected from unexpected change. Now, it thinks real strength is found in hardness and wants total security and safety, 100% guarantee that life will be okay. Okay, it's crazy. Yet the ego doesn't realize that life is a perpetual leap of faith into the unknown. We're always, how many times have you been faced with the fact, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take a leap of faith and what the heck, okay? Or you say, I'm going to throw caution to the wind, I'm going to go for it. Yeah? Most of us won't do that. And it's our softness for ourselves, it's gentleness and kindness towards ourselves, and having a soft, forgiving heart filled with trust. And this is the only way for us to relax and enjoy this life and truly become worry-free. It's about relaxing, letting go. And a lot of people can't do that. They just aren't ready to do that. Maybe a little bit, but they're not gonna do it completely. They hang on to stuff, and they don't understand why. So they keep that perpetual motion going. So the worrier within us, it can be a bit tricky to catch, and sometimes really super challenging to stop. We can get accustomed to blindly following the over-analytical, skeptic, doubting mindset and feel this is more intelligent and trustworthy than our free-flowing, spontaneously arising intuition. Now, I've known people, worry addicts. They're worry addicts. They're addicted to worry. And we all have different degrees of worry addicts, okay? Some are real light, average, medium, and then average, and some are really, really heavy-duty strong. So the worry addict inside us is the part which has stopped appreciating life just the way it is. You understand? When you appreciate this life that you're in, exactly as it is, and I mean it, not superficial to try to trick yourself, but through the heart mind that you genuinely are very, very in gratitude exactly the way it is. The way life is, the way your life is. Now, see, but the ego mind pushes us in the opposite direction. Well, I'm not satisfied with my life. I can do better. I deserve better. Well, that's true. You do deserve the best. That's true. But you see, the ego keeps pushing you more and more. And you're never really satisfied, are you? Ask yourself that. Am I truly satisfied with this life right now, the way it is? If you aren't, then you know who's in charge. You know who's in charge. That's a dead giveaway for you. So, now the worry addict feels incapable of accepting that whatever will be created into reality or manifest tomorrow will be for the highest good of all concerned. So it's incapable of accepting that. So the worrier addict inside us is like a 24-hour slave laborer who is constantly efforting for security through pushing the mind to dwell only, pushing the mind to dwell only on a negative positively is just some weak, gullible, naive, unrealistic mindset that is unprepared for some potential future horror that could occur. Think about that. Look at it in your motion picture in your heart minds. It feels that it is illogical and is so fearful that it believes thinking positively is just some weak, gullible, naive, unrealistic mindset that is really unprepared for some potential future horror that could occur. If your problem has a solution, then why worry about it? If your problem has a solution, then why worry about it? If your problem doesn't have a solution, then why worry about it? If your problem has a solution, then why worry about it? If your problem doesn't have a solution, then why worry about it? You see how we're tricked by the mind and the ego? That's a Chinese proverb. It's very true. There's not much we can do to convince our super worried mind that a negative outcome is not coming ahead. It's like a biochemical cocktail has been created in the worry-filled brain that makes it quite challenging and almost painful to believe in positive thoughts. Have you ever been presented with that? It's almost painful, okay, to even be in a direction of positive thoughts. And it feels at home, and we're talking about the worrier addict, it feels at home and life is somewhat under control if it keeps thinking negative thoughts. Isn't that amazing? It feels at home and life is somewhat under control if it keeps thinking negative thoughts. So the worried brain cocktail generates this right feeling that we should be worried and continue on this path, being even more serious and concerned about any potentiality or potentially highly critical or important life situation. So the mind addict, okay, the worried addict, mind cannot trust life or take a vacation because it's never a good time to joke around, have any fun, appreciate our spiritual nature, or celebrate being alive today. There's never a good time. And when the cocktail of worried biochemicals have taken over the brain, it's so powerful that the only place to find any freedom or clarity is by shifting gears into higher consciousness. So when we interject a steady stream of pure awareness into our minds, we slowly stop believing that our fearful fantasy is going to be created into reality or manifested. So the energy of pure consciousness acts like a river of clean, clear flowing water, which purifies away the negative ideas which have little foundation in reality. And by simply being aware of our consciousness for a few minutes, we can instantly release our ego's need to be afraid and in control. By simply being aware of our consciousness for just a few minutes, we can instantly release our ego's need to be afraid and in control. We can begin to sip a deeper, succulent experience of life that feels open, trusting, and loves enjoying the sensations of a deeper relaxation inside. The normal self is the mind. The mind is with limitations. But pure consciousness is beyond limitations and is reached by investigation into the I. Like I am, I this, I that. So the normal self is the mind. The mind is with limitations. But pure consciousness is beyond relax the body, love the mystery, and trust in a perfect future. Doesn't know how to do that. It doesn't know how to relax the body, love the mystery, and trust in a perfect future. It thinks too much. It feels too powerless and feels the need to be in control of it all. You ever have that, Paul? Where you have the need to be in control of everything? Yet, when it imagines some fearful scene is occurring, it believes its thoughts are having no energetic impact on the outer environment or people. So the worried mind is ignorant of what quantum physics has proven the past 50 years, that thoughts are things that impact our world. And every thought and every feeling that we have right now is impacting our environment, community, and the entire world on some level. An example, they've proven that a person who you're emotionally close with on the other side of the world can feel it when you shift into a highly emotional state of love, anxiety, or fear. It's proven. This is not, it's just made up stuff. They've proven that a person who you're emotionally close with on the other side of the world can feel it when you shift into a highly emotional state of love, anxiety, or fear. We know people are more prone to doing business with those who live from a state of trust, faith, and connection, rather than worry and fear. We're able to create to reality or manifest, magnetize, and attract the people and situations that we want when our heart is resonating with the feeling that everything is going to be fine. The heart resonates, see? A lot of us will say that, but that's the mind, not the heart, when we make that statement to ourselves, and that's why you can do it a million times, it doesn't have any effect. So the more we understand the deep power all of us each hold in every thought we think, the easier it will become to step back from the worried mind and transcend it. If we cannot step away from the mind, we are a mere slave to its forces. And when we look at our worries directly, we may see that they typically are directed at the outer world. And the mind tends to get hooked on thoughts about possessions, money situations, home life, our physical body, what other people think, if our loved ones are doing okay, and what we will create in reality or manifest in our future. So the untrained mind can worry about anything. Anything. It's a real creative genius that will poke around every possible fearful corner. And sometimes it will worry about our loved ones, thinking that this is a form of caring about them. You think, isn't that interesting? It will direct you to worry about your loved ones, thinking that this is a form of caring about them. So we might even feel guilty if they don't worry about them. And thinking that not worrying or fearing for their life means we don't truly care about them. You see how twisted the mind can make it? So we feel guilty for not worrying about them, because we feel the mind tells us that, well, then you don't care about them if you don't worry about them. The problem with this is that this worrying energy is sending out a negative vibration of fear that is unhealthy, untrusting, unsupportive, and actually pulls our loved ones down energetically. When we worry about someone, it energetically drains the life force of another person. Have you ever, I know you guys, I've got a lot of letters about this. You say that, I feel totally drained. Psychic vampire, right? I was with this person and I don't know, I'm totally burnt. people we've all experienced this at one time or another. So by understanding this, the problem with this is that this worrying energy is sending out a negative vibration of fear that is unhealthy, untrusting, unsupportive, and actually pulls loved ones down energetically. So when we worry about someone, think about this now, it goes against how everybody's been trained. We worry about someone, it energetically drains the life force of another person. Energetically. Cutting off our trust and relationship with them, causing them to feel more isolated and lonely in the universe. So be aware. Be aware. All of us. Worrying is a highly unconscious habit that can be more addictive than cocaine, or sugar for that matter. It can completely destroy a life that was potentially filled with joy, love, and laughter. If we don't learn how to transcend this addictive mindset, the energy can even implode within ourselves. So when worry becomes self-abusive, we perpetually doubt who we are, why we are here, what we are doing, and fear being wrong about everything we say and feel. We can end up doubting our lives on every level. And this can evolve into an insanely stressful way of being that manifests into a psychosomatic disease and eventually leaving the body. Now this is something to worry about. It's vital to create a new response to life where we are all deeply appreciating and trusting each moment, feeling the great goodness of life that is naturally here and all around us now. There's only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things that are beyond the power of our will. Epictetus. Do not worry. Easy to say, right? Yeah. There are some basic steps that we can take right away to stop our inner worrier in its tracks and reclaim our life full of trust and joy. That's the natural state of being. The first is to own the fact that every single worried thought that you have is being generated by you. And you're the one creating it. The real positive is to know this, be aware of it, so you're the one who can stop creating it. No one else can. No external anything can. If you don't take responsibility for it, you cannot stop it. You simply investigate what is happening inside, and you'll see that your mind is focusing on what it does not want to think, have, do, imagine, feel, experience, or create into reality or manifest. So when you take responsibility for this, knowing you are the master and authority of your next thought process, and can simply choose to focus on whatever you want to focus on, you begin investing your time and energy into something fun, uplifting, trustworthy, and new. It's empowering for all of us to know that we can imagine anything we want at any time. And that new thought process will impact our experience of reality. What if all of our time was spent focusing on what we do want? All of our time was spent on what we do want to create reality, to manifest, instead of being invested in visualizing and fearing what we don't want. How do you think your body would feel by the end of the day? Now, when any of us see that it all boils down to focusing on what we want, we empower ourselves to only visualize something wonderful each day. Big surprise. We begin to imagine the warm rays of the sunshine reaching into our heart as our feet are cozily nestled in the warm sand, as are gazing at the orange and pink sunset across the ocean, this thought alone creates an instant happy cocktail in our brain. And you can relieve yourself of those thoughts, which were dwelling in that dark, smelly garbage bin, overflowing with anxiety and fear. Picture that in your heart minds. This garbage can, it's all rusted, and it's overflowing, and there's garbage all around it, and it stinks just horribly. And that is your garbage bin overflowing with anxiety and fear, predicated from the mind, the ego. And there's one method that you can become worry-free, which is really a very powerful, and one of the most powerful of all of them. And this is the backbone to getting rid of the worry vibe from your life forever. So here, the big secret here comes in learning the fine habit of how to replace worry with wonder. Instead of fearing what might occur, replace it with being curious and wondering what might occur. Realize that there are an infinite number of possible outcomes that could manifest and create reality at any moment in your future. All day long, remain in a constant state of curiosity. You cannot be so arrogant to think that you actually know exactly what the universe has in store for you, or anyone for that matter. So as you begin to open the door of wonder, you start tapping into this awesome sense of innocence inside. So it feels like your heart is a newborn flower opening its petals to the sun. And for a few moments, right now, allow your heart to feel any feelings you can summon of pure innocence and goodness. And remember what it was like when you were a fresh newborn baby who knew absolutely nothing, playing in the dirt, making sandcastles, looking at a butterfly passing by. Recall what life was like to be curious about everything. Curious about everything. We're always relating to life in a state of awe about every little thing around us. We see this amazing universe for what it truly is. This is the path of perpetual curiosity, and it destroys worry instantly every single time. The path of perpetual curiosity. And it destroys worry instantly, every single time. So it's your choice to implement. It's a simple curiosity switch the moment you find your mind worrying. And in practice, with a bit of practice, mind will shift gears automatically and will be replacing worry with wonder for you each time. And you'll soon discover that our time on Earth, this planet, will naturally be filled with wonder, making every day absolutely wonderful. You don't worry about what the world wants from you. Worry about what makes you come more alive. Because what the world really needs are people who are more alive. Lawrence LaShawn. So we have this ability within us. Another powerful tool to transcending worry is to strengthen your mental discipline and focus. It's like being in the now. So when the reins on the mind are too loose or too tight, those wild worry horses inside will go crazy and trample all over your life. Every day, we need to strengthen our spiritual connection to our innermost being. This is created into reality through opening our hearts to nature and creating roots in spiritual trust with wings of divine curiosity. And when we simply trust that life is always guiding us toward a greater and higher good, we can rest easy inside. We can remain open and curious each day along the journey, and allow the spiritual goodness to find us wherever we may be. Those of us who have been playing the worrying game for years might have turned into a worry zombie. If you feel you're not used to trusting in life, you feel numb to love, lightness, joy, or orgasmic pleasure, you could have become a zombie. And to step out of the zombie zone, pull back strong on your mind's reins and steer those crazy horses back into the soft green pleasure pastures of the heart. Hold the mind firm on the energy and feeling of trust. Feel that one positive thing that you love in life, in this life, is here now, and give it all of your appreciation. And devote yourself to trusting life, and repeat and feel all day long what you are now trusting, that you are now trusting life. Just all day. Be committed to living in a state of wonder. This is an inner devotion for each of us to choose or not to choose. And we will change everything for the better. Using the breath, which we're getting ready to do. Expand out of your worried mind and enhance your positive state of being. It literally takes 30 seconds to make this change. Just inhale slowly for 10 seconds. Hold your breath for 10 seconds. Exhale slowly for 10 seconds. Trusting energy is growing inside. Practice this breath cycle for 3 minutes. You'll find yourself entering a very calming, centered state of mind with a peaceful, still awareness. If you cannot find a few minutes to breathe, just even take one long, deep breath into your heart. The moment worry creeps in, you'll create a more expansive, relaxed sensation in the chest, and you'll be able to instantly step back from the worried mind. Be aware that the awareness is always the main core ingredient needed for creating a worry-free mind. Anything you find your mind beginning to worry anytime that your mind starts to worry about anything, retreat back into what is aware. Step back into the ever-present witness of the mind. Be the observer. Be the one watching the thoughts float by without participating in their drama or story. Witnessing means having no attachment to the outcome. That's what witnessing means. No attachment to the outcome. If you have attachment to the outcome, then you're participating. This is one of the most essential and instantly effective worry-reversing habits you can practice. To permanently move your head out of the land of Worryville forever, you'll want to take a long, deep, honest look at what your personal worry issues are typically about. Why are you so attached to these particular issues and not those other things? Get curious about the subtleties around this worry habit, and you'll find out that your innermost fears are and why they are here. Explore, investigate, then digest what your soul is truly longing to experience. Get to know yourself more deeply and intimately. You either choose or you don't, so you must understand that the different forms of false security your ego is reaching for and why. If you ever want to fully relax into your spiritual essence and truly be free from this perpetual search for safety the ego is craving, so you're ready to create a worry-free mind today. Make the commitment. Explore what it's like to replace worry with wonder. Try it for the next 7 days of your life. Turn this into a fun, empowering new homework assignment that you are curious about doing. Be devoted to experience what life is like being full of inquisitive awe and wonder. Write down what results that you create into reality in your life. And from abiding in this state of perpetual curiosity, take notes how your heart feels by the end of each day. And just by wondering, you'll see new positive opportunities and people tend to be created a reality manifest in your life. And that you're naturally having more fun in life with this open, enlightening state of mind. So enjoy. on the path of perpetual curiosity, and it destroys worry instantly every single time. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. Let go of all the worry, all the stress, all the fear. Identify it, be aware of it, let it go. Replace it with perpetual curiosity, which you know inherently destroys worry instantly every single time. Curiosity destroys worry. That's a great formula. It's simple too. All you got to do is practice it and choose to do it. So in relaxing the body relaxes. You just let go of things. You have no interest in being worried about nothing, because that's what it is, nothing. And everything we think about, we create. You can't. There's no way you can not do that. There's no way you can not do that. So as we relax the body, head to toe, drop the shoulders, relax the muscles, the shoulder blades, the spine, the legs, the feet, everything. Just floating. And we move into the now. The now is all we have. And the now helps us focus. And to understand that perpetual curiosity destroys worry instantly every single time. And we know that in the now, because we've stilled the mind and the ego. And the chatter's gone. And we're only focused on the space between heartbeats. That's it. Nothing else. No expectations, no attachments. We're just flowing. Going with the flow, downstream thinking. Now some of us are going to past. We all do. We reminisce. We see things, we hear music, and it brings us back to certain times that we kind of savor, we embrace. Oh, that was a wonderful time. But, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no right or wrong anyway. So then we get on track, but unfortunately we're going to the future. We skip right over the now. So we'll reminisce in the past, and then we go over in the future, and then we start thinking about a future that we don't have yet. So then some of us will be so seduced into the past or the future that we will bring up the past into a future that doesn't exist, create the future from that past, relive that past in that future. A lot of us do that. And we are creating the future in the now. It's still in the mind. So, then we want to breathe. We want to breath in through our nose and breath out through our mouths. And the breath is so important. It does a lot of things for us. It can focus us on the understanding that if we maintain, or when we maintain perpetual curiosity, we know it will destroy worry instantly every single time. And if we practice this, it's a switch. Simple curiosity switch. The moment you find your mind worrying, turn it on. Turn on perpetual curiosity. And with a bit of practice, you'll find the mind will shift gears automatically and will be replacing worry with wonder for you each time. You know how powerful that is? That's phenomenal. And each of us have that ability. All of us. So the breath is divine positive energy. And it's a wonderful thing that we have. Deep gratitude for it, of it. So it sustains the vessel that houses the kingdom of God. So you realize that this divine positive energy is omnipotently powerful, the breath. But then our chi, our God force energy, and then we take this with our chakras, which are energy vortexes that go up the center of our bodies, right through our spine, up the top of the head. There's 7 of them, and we only talk about the ones going through the center of the body. And they're all colored lights, and they're all geometric shapes in the center of different flowers. This is a powerful conduit. This is the bridge between spiritual and physical, from physical back to spiritual. These are power vortexes. So we have the divine positive energy breath in our chi. So we have the breath as we breath in easily. We pull it in and up through our chakras. The root chakra, the red wheel of light, the Muladhara. This is our career, money, mindset, and sense of belonging. And it represents our foundation and feeling of being grounded. And it's the base of the spine and tailbone area. And our connections and survival issues, such as financial independence, money, and food. The physical association is spine, rectum, legs, arms, circulatory system. Then we go to the orange wheel of light, the sacral chakra, the Vadasthana. This is our sexuality and pleasure. It's our connection and ability to accept others and new experiences. Its location is lower abdomen, about 2 inches below the navel and 2 inches in. And emotional issues or connections are sense of abundance, well-being, pleasure, sexuality. Physical association, reproductive organs, kidneys, bowels, and immune system. And then we have our solar plexus chakra, our Manipura. Personal power, ability to channel, ability to be confident, and in the flow of our lives, mastering our flow. And it's the upper abdomen and the stomach area. Emotional connections or issues, self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem. You have poor self-esteem, then you know you have issues with your solar plexus chakra, your Manipura. Physical association or connection, central nervous system, pancreas, liver, digestive tract, and skin. Then we move to the emerald green wheel of light, the heart chakra, the Anahata. This is our love, relationships, and self-acceptance. It's our ability to love. And you stay in worry zone, you won't have the ability to love. You'll be consumed by worry. And it's at the center of the chest above the heart. And emotional connections or issues are love, joy, and inner peace. In our physical association, heart, thymus, lower lung, circulatory system, immune system. And then we move to the blue wheel of light, the throat chakra, the Vishuddha. This self-expression. If you're having issues talking or communicating with yourself or anybody, it means your ability to communicate has been compromised, and it's usually located, and it's something to do with your Vishuddha, your throat chakra. And the emotional issues, communication, self-expression of feelings, the truth. Your physical association, thyroid, respiratory system, teeth and vocal cords. And we move to the indigo wheel of light, the third eye chakra, Ajna. This is our intuition, a sense of purpose and direction in this life. It's our ability to focus on and see the big picture. What's the big picture? It's to figure out how you can literally plug in to the wellspring of enjoying life exactly as it is in the very now. It's in between our eyes, forehead, brow chakra. Emotional issues and connections, intuition, imagination, wisdom, ability to think and make decisions, and the physical associations, pituitary gland, eyes, and sinuses. Then we bring that divine positive energy, our breath, flowing right with the God force energy, our chi, and this is the crown chakra, the Sahasrara. This is our connection to the divine. It's the top of our head. And it represents our ability to be fully connected spiritually. And it's what are the connections emotionally? What are those? Inner and outer beauty. Our connection to spirituality and pure bliss. And our physical association? Pineal gland, brain, nervous system. So we brought this powerful, omnipotently powerful breath up through the center of our energy vortexes, our chakras, and at the top of the head. And we hold it briefly. I am light, I am love, I am. In that brief moment, we condense and compress it into pure liquid energy. It isn't even measurable because its power is so off the charts. And then we release it over the pineal gland. Pineal gland is very important to every one of us while we're in this body. When it's fully functioning and healthy, it is the gateway to all the particles of existence. It is the gateway to pure consciousness, the God, and beyond. So if it's compromised, and we've never known it to be perfectly healthy because we don't know what that's like, this is the way to do it. You can see it, and you can view it in your heart, mind, motion picture, any way you'd like. I look at it as a rosebud, a green ball. When I release this pure liquid energy over it, it immediately transforms into this beautiful, blooming, multicolored petal rose with a wonderful fragrance, vibrating, sending out soft waves of total ease, joy, love, knowing, heart-mind confidence, wonder. Opens up all the gateways. Everywhere. You can effortlessly be everywhere at once or nowhere anywhere. You can be in nothing or you can be in everything simultaneously. We're all consciously aware that we are of and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and of and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love. We're also consciously aware that we are merged. We are one. We are one with the body. We are one with the God. We are one with the heart-mind. We are one with pure consciousness. We are paradise. We are bliss. We are heaven on earth. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify and expand. We have others with us, already joined with us. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is a civilization that vibrates at a different frequency than we do. And they are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. Now we meet with them a lot in this life, as we have in other lives, and we don't know it when we meet with them or interact with them, but it dawns on us through our heart minds that that wasn't just a regular, Bill and Bob meeting or acquaintance or interaction. It was an angel. And it's always blissful. You always feel good. And you can have 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 of them surround any one of us at any one time because their vibrational frequency, a large number can hold a small space. And since we're all one, we really are. They are us and we are them. We just experience in different forms. We also have the Ascended Masters. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Moria, Abundantia, Pal Thoth, many, many, many more. These are those who have ascended out of body, mastered ascension out of body, and hold pure consciousness or God form. We have ascended into body to experience physical form. Are we one and the same? Yes. We are in different forms experiencing different things. They're consciously aware that they are of and from the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And we're all gathered here. And we're really compelled to call out to all the different reflections of all of us. So we call upon all of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, beneath earth, Agartha. Many, many, many civilizations and species, and only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light. And they come in the billions. And they are with us now. We call upon all of the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, a form of the circle of light. And they come in the googolplexes. One googolplex fills this universe. They come in trillions of googolplexes from every direction. And they are with us now. We call upon all the off-worlders, all the galactics, all the celestials, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. Can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the form of the circle of light. And we're only familiar with a handful of them, somewhat familiar, a fraction. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every single day. And the ones we are somewhat familiar with, this includes all of these civilizations, levels, and species. We have the Pleiadians, and the Sirians, and the Andromedans, and the Arcturians, Jade Reticuli, feline, the Gray, the Nord, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, many, many, many more. They've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now. And we call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, the form of the circle of light. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now. We call upon all of the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light. And again, we're only familiar with a fraction of them. They come in the trillions. Shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations, and just the hair that we are familiar with, somewhat familiar. This is the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Many, many, many more. And they are with us now. And we're all assembled. We're one. We always are one. But now we are acknowledging that we're all together as one from Source Creator. Arm in arm, hand in hand, gods with gods. We're all in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all love. And we're all God. Pure consciousness. And our God light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, forever, and ever, and beyond. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We all form this massive circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. In this meditation, this circle of light is so powerful and so brilliant and bright that it grays out the darkness of space. It would take over 1,000 billion of the suns of the solar system to even come close to equaling its brightness. And what is the brightness? It brothers and sisters, flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, inside and out, head to toe. We begin to ascend, begin to levitate above the planet. As we begin to levitate above the planet, we're met with this beautiful, endless gossamer field with trillions of vibrant colors reflecting on little prism mirrors, all reflecting to each other and back. All of us, throughout existence and existence, throughout nothingness. These are reflections of all of us gathered for liberation of this planet into the paradise it was originally scripted to be. And in this gossamer field, we're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column that reminds each and every one of us that we are the power of healing. Then we're met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column that reminds us of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This is a column that reminds each and every one of us that we are imbued head to toe, inside and out, with an impenetrable white fire armor. Pure God light energy. Pure essence, pure consciousness, deep eternal love. And nothing externally can penetrate it, can disrupt it, can harm it. We're protected 24/7. Doesn't matter what the external existence is, it has no effect. But only you have the power. Only you have the power that, if you choose, whether consciously or unconsciously, to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, hatred, anger, stress, judgment, fear, anxiety, manipulation, greed, dishonesty, you lower it enough, you'll create a breach in your white fire armor, allowing all of the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. If you do this, you do decide to do it, you're then met with the purple transmuting flame. This column reminds us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can literally transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance. You just send them back to your consciousness, and they're no more. We then are met with the violet ray. This is a column that reminds us that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, and we can literally reinstate our vibrational harmony of deep eternal love, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, balancing us as we continue to ascend. Then we're met with the golden white pink light. This is a column that reminds us that we are the sunsets, we are the sunrises, we are the rainbows, we're the oceans, the lakes, the rivers, the streams, we're the trees in the forest, we're the rainbows, we're the rain, we're the mist, we're the snow, we're everything. And we continue to levitate above the planet. As we do this, some of us step outside of our physical form and just float effortlessly above them. As we continue to ascend, we come upon this massive crystalline tower. It's at center circle along with our meditative sphere. It is larger than the solar system. We created it. And you look into the actual column, and you can't help but see this massive oval sphere that inside has a center of golden white light that's softly waving out, and then around it are prisms of vibrant colors softly expanding out and saturating all of us in deep eternal love and gratitude, head to toe, inside and out, perpetually, eternally. Then at the top, we have designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees in every direction, as it's been doing eternally. And this also floods the soul. head to toe, inside and out, saturates us with deep eternal love, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. And see that, visualize that in your heart, mind, motion picture. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely spectacular. All of our brothers and sisters, all life, highest supreme value in the universe, transforming. Lower vibrational frequency will not exist. We are each drops of the golden ocean, and we each hold the essence of that ocean. If you separate the drop from the golden ocean, does that mean it's separate from the golden ocean? No, it's one. The illusion is the separation. When we look at our meditative sphere sitting center circle, we created this sphere well over 2 years ago. It holds well over 1,000 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Over 1,000 of our meditations. And all of us convening and participating throughout existence, all focused on this planet's liberation. And this meditative sphere, flooding all of us inside and out, head to toe, perpetually, unending, eternal, deep eternal love, abundance, happiness, joy, peace, all of it. Wonder. This is why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And this is why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. You feel the communication, the flooding into your heart, mind's motion picture. Watch it. Experience it. Choose it or not. This is the path of perpetual curiosity, and it destroys worry instantly, every single time. Choose to implement this simple curiosity switch the moment you find your mind worrying. And with a bit of practice, the mind will shift gears automatically and will be replacing worry with wonder for you each and every single time. And you'll soon discover that our time here on Earth will naturally be filled with wonder, making every day absolutely wonderful. I'll join you in the meditation. Return to close us out. reality switch. The moment you find your mind worrying, and with a bit of practice, the mind will shift gears automatically, and will be replacing worry with wonder for you every single time. And in doing this, you'll soon discover that your time on Earth, Gaia Arya, will naturally be filled with wonder, making every single day absolutely wonderful. Take this with you the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. And we will return here Wednesday, October 7th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, and also our 9 p.m. Time for Change Awakening call.